joining me for some glutes and ab work today. If you have a small ball, you can use that. It's optional. I like it because we use it behind the leg and you can squeeze it and work the hamstring a little bit more. You also can have a weight if you want, but both items are optional. All right, we're going to start on all fours. So let's start with your hands right underneath your hips. Your hands right underneath your shoulders and your knees right underneath your hips. Brace your abs. Now, if this bothers your wrist, you can always roll your mat up so your hands can hang off. They're not at as sharp of an angle if they're hanging off a little bit. You could also use a weight to have your hand like that, or a block or something that bothers your wrist. The other option is always to come down onto your forearms. All right? So hands or elbows right underneath your shoulders. Brace your abs. You can extend your right leg and just lift and lower. So I want you to take a look at your left hip. Make sure that your left hip is directly over your left knee. If it's tilted out to the side like this, then you're really not getting the work out of it that you want to. So left hip is right over your left knee. And when you do that, you will notice that most of your weight is in your right hand. That's where it should be. So you should be really feeling this in your abs as well. Now we're going to add on lift and then take the leg out on a diagonal and lift and take it back. Now your main goal here is to keep everything still in your waist. So if you're keeping everything still, then your left oblique is really working as you take the leg out to the right diagonal. So lift straight up, take it out on the diagonal, tap, lift, and tap it behind you. And lift, tap out, lift, tap back. Let's do 3 more. Let's, for those last 3, lift. We'll do 3 more now. Lift your left arm. Good, pulling your belly up and in. Here's 2. Everything is still but that leg. Right leg is the only thing moving. Last one. Good. Hold right there. Grab your ball, if you're going to use it, and put it right behind your right knee. Go ahead and come onto your forearms, and you're going to lift that right leg behind you and just pulse it up. Now that in itself is a bit of work, but I want you to think you're squeezing that ball as if you're going to try to pop the ball. So now you feel your right hamstring really working. So remember, your left hip is right over your left knee, so most of your weight you're going to feel in your right forearm. Squeeze that ball. Good, and just pulse it up. Pulse. Squeeze the ball like you're going to try to pop it. Good. 8, 7, relax your shoulders. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Hold it up, squeeze the ball, squeeze the glutes, and come back up onto your hands. Last thing, bring your knees level with one another, and you're just going to lift your right knee out to the side. Good, right knee out to the side, just like a dog at a fire hydrant. Good. So you might think that the right leg is doing most of the work because it's the one that's moving. My left glute is really feeling sore here. It's doing a lot of work to stabilize you. You may feel this a lot in your right shoulder. So you're working your whole body really. Abs, both glutes, right shoulder. One more. Good job. And switch sides. Go ahead and set your ball out. Make sure your hands under your shoulder, knees under your hips, and extend the left leg behind you. Lift and lower. Does it feel kind of like a relief at the beginning? That's good. This side might feel a little bit harder because you just worked the other side. Now take a look at your right hip. Make sure your right hip is right over your right knee. So that would mean you have to put most of your weight into your left arm. Make sure you're breathing. Inhale and exhale. adding on, we're going to lift and then tap the leg out to the side on the diagonal. Lift behind you and tap directly behind you. Lift, tap on the diagonal, and lift, tap behind you. Now take a look at that right hip again. Make sure it's not moving. You don't want to let anything in your torso move. The only thing moving is your left leg. So imagine you have cups of hot coffee, scalding hot coffee, filled to the brim, balancing on your back. You've got to be very still so you don't spill. Last 3, lift that right arm if you dare. 2, good. Woo. My right leg is quivering. Last 1, good job. Go ahead and grab your ball and put it between, right behind your left knee. Come down to your forearms. My shirt, excuse me. All right, and go ahead and lift that leg behind you. You're not bringing it all the way down. You're lifting, coming halfway down. Your focus is on squeezing the ball. So you're really working the hamstring as well as the glutes. Squeeze the ball. Good squeeze. Nice. Again, make sure most of your weight is into your left arm. And hold up and just pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. And come back onto your hands. Knees are level. You're just going to lift that left knee directly out to the side. Now this is where you might, again, feel like you need to let your right hip come out beyond the knee, like so, but you want to stabilize. Keep your right hip right over your right knee. Feel all that weight in your left arm. Tighten your middle. Squeeze the ball so you're working your hamstrings. I don't ask for much. Oh, you're almost there. 4, 3, 2, and last 1. Good job, and release the ball. Go ahead and set that down. We're going to roll over onto our backs for some ab work. So feet on the floor, heels in line with your hips, knees also in line with your hips, hands behind your head, and you're going to lift and lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Inhale and exhale. And so consider which muscles you're using to initiate the movement. Inhale and exhale, lift. So make sure that you're initiating by using your abdominals. So you want to inhale, way back, exhale, press your belly flat to lift. Inhale and exhale, draw your rib to your hip to lift. Good, inhale, exhale, press up. Make sure you're not initiating by starting at the top. See the difference here where I'm pulling my head and I'm lifting from the head? You want to rest the head back and initiate with the abdominals. Good, up, quick and hold. And inhale, lower. Exhale. And lower. And lift, quick and hold. And lower. So while you're up here in this hold, think about pressing your belly down. That gives you a chance to think about which muscles are working. Inhale, exhale, up and hold. Good. 4 more. 3. Rest your head heavy in your hands. 2. Your neck should be relaxed. And 1. Knees come over your hips. Though if you have back trouble, you're going to always leave one foot on the floor and you can work from here. All right? Otherwise, bring your knees over your hips. And extend one leg and hold. Bring it in. Left leg. And release. Good. Out, quick and hold. Press your belly down and in, out quick, and bring it in. Remember, this is your option. Tap here, and lift. Tap here, and lift. Or if you need to, just be right here. Out quick and hold, and bend it in. Quick and hold, bend it in. Rest your head heavy in your hands. Press your belly button down and flat. Good, and switch. Good, one more on each side. Breathe. Good, and then we're going to crisscross. So bring your knee towards your opposite shoulder. Good. Imagine you have a heavy brick pressing on your belly. That heavy brick is pressing your belly down. Good. 3, 2, last one. Good job. And hug your knees into your chest and circle them around. All right, quick leg circles, and then we'll be done. Take your right leg straight up. Give it a nice little stretch. Externally rotate your leg from the hip so the knee and toe point out, palms on the floor by your side. Brace your left obliques. Take your right leg out to the side without allowing your left hip to come up. Flex and point, flex and point. One more time. Can you feel those left obliques working? Keep your hip down, then cross your leg, cross your body. Keep your right hip down by engaging your right obliques, and flex the toe and point. Right obliques are working hard here. One more. Good, now circle the leg down, around, and circle it up. So as you cross the body, right obliques are working. As you take the leg out to the side, the left obliques are working. Your arms and shoulders are working to stabilize. One more circle this direction. Good, and then circle the other way. 3, 2, and one more. Good job. And switch legs. Take your left leg straight up, right leg straight out on the mat. Give your hamstring a nice little stretch. Palms on the floor. Externally rotate from the hip so the knee and toe are pointed out. Keep your right hip down by engaging your right oblique. Take your left leg out to the side and flex and point, flex, point. One more time. How are your abs feeling? Are they feeling nice? Take your leg across your body, keeping your left hip down. Don't let it rock up. Left hip down. Brace your left oblique and flex and point. Flex. One more time. Good, and then circle the leg down, around, and up. Down. When you take the leg out to the side, the right obliques are working hard, and when you cross, the left obliques are working. Arms are working. This is a full body exercise. And circle the other way. Breathe. Using your abs, try to keep your hips completely still. Good. So you don't want to look like this, hips rocking all over the place. You're really working to stabilize. Last one. Good job. Hug your knees in your chest and rock yourselves up. Good work. Glutes and abs. Got it done.